Oh my God, we're live.
Yay!
But it's not really live. It's just whatever. It's just we're recording. So, this is the Chirp Herm show. My name is Herm. This is, how do you pronounce your name? Marle Cordeiro?
Yeah, exactly.
So, Marle does a poker vlog, I should say, and it's fucking hilarious. Dude, like, no one's funny, man. Like, I haven't seen anyone in poker do anything funny that I'm interested in. I don't know if they're really trying, but they suck if they do.
I don't know. I think Brett Owen's pretty funny, but
I don't know who that is.
Oh, he does a vlog.
I'm out of touch. I'm out of touch with all of it. So like what I think is funny too, because I don't think you're really like that scared to like offend people or be like non-PC kind of like you're talking. Like I haven't seen a ton of them, but I saw the one vlog. You're like, I fucked him. I fucked him. Like before. Like people are like too scared, I think, to like offend people or like be non-PC, whatever. So that I think is awesome.
Yeah.
So what made you want to do it?
I've been saying I was going to do it for a year. I used to be an actor. I wanted to like do something creative, and I kind of like it just kind of felt like the most, I don't know, like logical next thing to do. And I used to make sketches, and I used to make these ridiculous videos, and I made short films and stuff. So I love doing this shit, and like I just like all these things I think of literally a minute before like that sketch of me going around to the Rhino and in the dress. I literally, that was like Saturday night. I called my friend. I was like, "Yo, I have this like idea I want to do. You want to go film with me?" He showed up. He had no idea what we were gonna do, and I was just like, "Here, we're gonna go to the Rhino and just like film me." And it was just like I just thought of it like.
Well, that's amazing.
I just went with it. So
why did you want to be an actor?
Why did I?
Yeah.
I don't know. I moved to New York when I was 18. Went to school. I was modeling, and it kind of was just like the natural progression of it. Like,
but like, what is it that you? But like, what is it like the deep thing that you want? Like, you want like worldwide acceptance. You want, you know what I'm saying? Like, what is it that like gets you going about getting your thing out there? Well, like when you think in your dreams, you're like, oh, this is going to happen and this is going to be awesome. What does it look like?
It's just funny to me to like make these videos. Like
you're funny, yeah.
It entertains me so much to, because this is shit that people are thinking about. People like have these thoughts. People like have these like things go on in their head, but nobody's willing to just put it out there and be like, okay, here it is. Like,
yeah.
And that just like tickles me to like, like push buttons and like have people be like, oh my God, like, oh. So
yeah, totally. No, totally. I'm the same way too. I can't stand like fake interactions at all. It's just like so cringe to me, you know, like especially like in the business world. It's like, oh, hi, hello, how are you doing today? Like, stop. It's fucking total dust. Yeah, that's cool. So what? Okay, so sorry, I'm sorry to cut your story off. So you moved to New York when you're 18. Then what?
I was modeling in high school. I moved there. I wanted to be a supermodel. I thought I was going to be a supermodel, but I did model in there for like 6 years. But I went to school. I dropped out after 2 years, and then
What was your major?
Marketing.
Sick.
And, yeah, you've been really using that. Yeah, and then I was acting for a while. Like I said, it was kind of like a natural thing where like I was doing modeling, and then I was doing commercials, and my ex was a director, so we made some movies, like little short movies together.
Wait,
and, like,
so were you in any commercials that are like known?
Maybe. I actually still am getting some like residual checks from some stuff I did years ago.
Oh, that's boss.
Yeah, it's really awesome. Commercials are the way to go financially. Like they pay forever.
Yeah.
One day of work.
Wait, so you're still I mean, you just said that, but you're like getting like decent money still from all this shit?
No, they're infrequent at this point. I got 2 this year, like in the last year for like $500. Like, but still, it's like passive. And it's like just free money.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy too because you just never know. You just get to call your agents. It's like, yeah, like they extended or they whatever, and it's pretty dope.
But what were they for? Like, give me like one example, like butter or something. Like, were you a hand model? Like, what the fuck?
No, I did one for birth control. That was pretty big.
Oh my God, that's epic. Like, what happened? What was going on there? Like, what happened in the commercial?
Typical like pharmaceutical commercial. I drive up to a big brownstone in Brooklyn, New York, and in like a Volvo, and I like walk into the apartment. It's like my new apartment. And actually, at the end of the commercial, this guy comes in and just like kisses me and be like, "Go into our new like apartment," or like, "Yay!"
Were you attracted to this guy?
Huh?
Were you attracted to this guy?
Oh yeah, he's a model. He's beautiful.
That's awesome, dude. I want to like that. That would be so fun to like fucking like. What do people do when you're acting and you're like making out with people? Like I'm sure like guys like get fucking hard and stuff, right? Like
Maybe. Yeah. Luckily, this guy wasn't a creeper or anything, so that was ideal. But yeah, I haven't done too many kiss scenes or anything. It was innocent. It was like, like I said, it was personal, but
yeah.
so that was a big one I did. But I've done like a lot of hair stuff too. I used to do a lot of like Tresemme. Like I was in like a really big like Japanese hair commercial that blew up. Where I'm like, it's like dubbed over my mouth, like Japanese.
No way! Oh my god, that's so fucking epic. You need to like put that in your vlog. That people would find that hilarious. I think.
Oh god, it's so fucking funny. There's a couple of them actually. I should do that.
Yeah. Okay. Continue with the story, with your life story.
Life story. So my dad played poker for a living for a while. I lived here when I was growing up for a while. My dad was playing live.
What did he play? What did he play?
Just mid stakes, 2-5 and 5-10.
Oh, no limit. Okay.
Oh, no limit. Yeah, no limit.
Yeah. Okay.
So then I was like a 10 or 11. And my dad was a single dad, so we're very close. And
wait, he was playing no limit when you were 10 or 11. How old are you? 25?
He was playing. I was 10 or 11.
Yeah. I know, but how old are you now?
27.
So this is 15 years ago. He was playing.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what year was that? 2003. That was like right when No Limit like started. Okay.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Okay, continue. Sorry.
Yeah. So he lived here for a year. He went busto, and it was kind of like a shitty time for us. We had moved back home. I lived with my grandparents for a while, but he's like a super smart guy, and he's a businessman. So now he's like doing all kinds of shit. But he eventually got on his feet. But yeah, it was kind of wild. But I was in New York and doing my thing. I was kind of like, I was just working a lot of auditions. At this point, I was like auditioning for like movies and stuff, and I was like getting close, like getting callbacks, getting like screen tests and stuff, but I couldn't book anything that was like real. And I was just getting frustrated. And my mom actually passed away suddenly, and so I moved out here, or I came out here just to be with my dad for a little bit, and ended up staying. And
in Vegas.
In Vegas, yeah.
Okay.
That was 4 years ago. So yeah, so I've been here for 4 years now, and I kind of was just like burnt out of being in New York. Obviously I was going through a rough time personally, and I was just kind of like New York just beats you down. I don't know if you ever lived in New York, but it's just like,
yeah, I get it.
Such a grind, you know what I mean? And I was over it. But I moved here and I got a job. Like I wasn't like professional poker player or anything like that. I was just like, oh, I'll get a job. Like, I got a job waiting tables, like making big money, just like, you know, because you can make great money out here. Just
before you moved to Vegas, what was your poker experience? Did you have any at all? Like you randomly played or what?
Yeah, I played a lot. Hold on a second. I played my whole life. Like,
wow, golf clubs. Are you a big golfer?
Oh no, my roommate.
Oh, okay.
I don't golf. But no, I played it with my family growing up. My dad always like played, even before he quit his job. He worked for Bose, so like he quit his job when I was like 10 to play full time, and so I've always been around it. Like my dad's always been super into poker, so like, you know, I've always played. And then when I was 21, I came out here and played in this like a few like small tournaments with him, and like he actually lives in Miami now, but he was living here for 6 years. But yeah, so I always like was interested in it, but I kind of like seen like the shitty parts of it kind of early on. Like I saw him go early on.
You saw the pain. Yeah.
Sorry. I saw the pain, and like I was just kind of like thought like, I mean, and ultimately like I kind of get more enjoyment from the creative stuff. Like I like doing the vlogs. Like I like doing this stuff more than I like, you know, making a tournament. So it was kind of like.
So how much do you like poker now?
I love it. Like now that I'm in it, I love it because I'm actually like, because before I was like doing it on like a superficial, like super low stakes and like once in a while, and it's like for me like the higher you get, and the better players you play with, like the more challenging it is, the more I like it because I'm just like, this is dope. Like.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm getting more excited about it, but I'm a creative person, and I got to a point where I wasn't doing anything creative, and I was like, this sucks, you know?
Yeah.
So. So that was kind of a big thing for the vlog with me, is that I was just like, I need to get back to that. I actually went back to New York last month. I actually was considering moving back there because I just miss the city. I miss like the kind of opportunities and stuff. But when I went back, I was like, you know what? Don't think I want to be in New York right now. Like, I'm happy in Vegas. I just need somewhere outlet, you know?
So when did the vlog start? Sorry, I don't know like all of your history of this. It's like recent, right?
2 months. So yeah, it's been.
And you have like 80,000 views on some of your shit, right?
Yeah.
Dude, that's crazy. You're gonna get famous, man. You're gonna be like one of the most. You are. You're gonna be like the most famous poker person out. You're gonna be like Doug Polk, but like maybe more because girls. I mean, something about like good-looking girls. They have this other like pull. They just do. You know, they have a like guys want to watch. You're like, oh, this chick's hot. Like like it's just you have it. So and plus you're very funny too. This is like unique stuff that hasn't been seen. So like, yeah, man, I think you're gonna get get extremely famous. But like, so what? When you like create these things, you just have ideas and you go do it, or what is your like process of all of this?
It's so crazy because I feel like when I never have a plan. I don't plan them out. I don't ever think ahead. And when I post them, usually like midweek, I'll post the vlog and then I'll just have this like extreme anxiety for like 3 days of like, what the fuck am I gonna do now? Like I don't have any ideas. Like what the fuck?
Right.
And then something will just come to me. I'll just be like, oh yeah, let's go do that. Like. And it's always last minute. It's always like I have the idea and I'm just like, fuck it, let's just do it. Like I don't even think. Like,
once you post the vlog though, do you have any sort of like anxiety about like, oh fuck, what did I just put out there, sort of thing, or no?
I've never really felt that way.
That's good. That's good because I get that sometimes. Like sometimes I have podcasts that are like fucking raw and like whatever, and I'm like, what the fuck did I just put out there? You know, like.
Yeah.
But
I mean, the only time I've really had that is when I'm getting all this backlash. This week is when I've been really. The haters and the I don't want to say negativity, but like the publicity has gone up this week like a ton. But that just means that people are going to hate on it. But like when people were hating on it and misunderstanding me and thinking I was like shaming people, that I like somehow want guys to treat women this way, like I was just like baffled. Like,
wait,
why
so
would
what? Tell me exactly what happened. Like, give me like what sort of rebuttal you got from people and regarding what content.
Yeah, so one of the big things was Kelly Minkin went on Ingram's podcast on Monday, and I actually just met Kelly for the first time a week ago, and we played together, she was fine, like whatever, and she basically, the whole thing, she's talking about how I'm moving feminism backwards.
She hates you probably. You're like you gotta look at it like you're attacking what she is. She's like the hot popular poker chick. You're attacking that. You could ruin her. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah. Like, but she like I can clearly see it in her that she's trying to like dominate that realm. But continue. I know a lot about her.
You know a lot about her?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well. See, that's what's upsetting to me is like, dude, like you're a tournament player. You're totally different than me. I play cash games. I'm a comedian. I play vlogs. You play higher stakes than me, and like you play the high rollers. Like we're not even like the same. So it really upset me that like I felt like Joey was a little bit trying to instigate this like feud between us, and like I was kind of bummed. Like if I was her and Joey kept being like, Kelly's funnier than you, like comparing us, I would have been like, dude, shut the fuck up, like. We're totally different. Like, she's my girl. Like, she's doing her thing. I'm doing my thing. Like, whatever. Like, it's not a fucking competition. Like, it kind of pissed me off that there was, like, this comparative nature of the whole interview. But she kind of fed into it. She kept being like, yeah, like, Marle's funny, but I'm kind of more subtly funny. Marle's, like, more obvious funny, and I'm more subtle.
Dude, you're attacking our whole life, man. It's hilarious. No, but you are just by being yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's not that many like females in poker that are like, so there's just not that many females in poker in general. And then the ones that are popular, it's like can often be like some sort of pissing match, and it clearly is with her. I can tell that she cares a lot about that, and there's not really an altruism sort of energy attached to it.
It's crazy to me because think about the male poker players on podcasts. If somebody wins a tournament, no one's like, well. So there's only one spot now, so and so got it, so you can't have it. Like there's no competition, like where it's like this one spot, and like if one person's winning, it means you can't win.
This might sound fucked up, but I think for some females, that something about like the fact that there is a scarcity of females in it attracts them to it, so they can be like kind of, you know, like, it's not the right way to put it, but like a big fish in a small pond sort of thing. So you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that about you at all, but I can see that, and so obviously that would breed competitive non niceness, you know, like, you know, so.
Yeah, I mean, look, here's the thing, like, it's so fucking crazy. I just actually listened to a podcast. I don't know if you know who Nikki Glazer is. She's a comedian. She's awesome. But she was talking about how she's, like, super successful and accomplished, and she went into this show and saw this other female comedian had sold out 3 shows, and immediately she got this, like, super jealous, like, angry, like, ruined her night. Like, she said she was just angry the whole night over this. Like, when she didn't even try, it wasn't like she beat her at anything. It's like this woman succeeding, and that like upset her.
Yeah.
In the world of stand-up comedy, and it's like, and she was like really like, what the fuck? Afterwards, she's like, dude, why am I like that? Like, that's ridiculous, and we all do that. And I think that maybe that's a little bit what's happening with Kelly. I think it's natural, but like, I think when like you step back, you're just like, you know what? Like, that's fucking retarded. Like.
Yeah. I mean, I do it for sure. There's certain things that like I'll give you an example. This is a fucked up example. This is good. So my buddy Nick is like he's a great poker player, and I'm like good friends with him. You know, like he's not like my like best friend, but like we're friends. You know, like so anyway, I bought a piece of him in I think it was the 100K a couple years ago in Vegas, like 1 or 2 bullets, I forget. And like I like pseudo bubbled the tournament. My horse direct bubbled the tournament, and then my good friend Paul, who I think I had some action on, like also sort of bubbled the tournament. So like I got wrecked on the fucking tournament. Like it was fucking horrendous. And then I ended up not buying a piece of his like 3rd bullet or something like that, and he got like 4th. And I just like told him like, because I hated feeling, because I was like fucking anti-sweating him. I hate having that feeling and not like communicating it to the person. So I just told him, I was like, dude, this is so fucked up, but I was anti-sweating you in this fucking tournament. And it felt gross, you know what I'm saying? But like, I can't change that. That's just what happened. I can't change my feelings. Yeah. But yeah, I think it's like any of our insecurities and stuff, like it's going to attack. And the more insecure you are in an area, it's gonna rattle your fucking cage, you know?
It's fucked up. Like,
yeah.
After what happens, you always feel so dirty, and you're just like, dude, what the fuck? Like, why am I rooting? Like, Kelly succeeding or me succeeding has nothing to do with the other person, really, because we're both female.
Yeah, it's irrational.
It's just irrelevant. Like, and it's not even like we're both vloggers. We're totally different. She's a tournament player. I don't play fucking tournaments. Like, so.
Yeah, but when you're insecure, you need all of everything. You know, like someone that like is insecure and they talk about all the money they have and they wear like fucking dope watches and like whatever. They can never have enough. You know what I'm saying? Because they're feeding this insecure like little child of theirs that just can never get enough. So like that's her probably. You know what I'm saying? That's what's happening right here. So it just is what it is.
Maybe she had a moment of that, but I think that it's possible she went home after and like.
No.
No.
She didn't. No, I know her too well. No, she did not. She hates you. It just is. I mean, but she just hates you just because what you like, you know, you represent a threat. That's it. Yeah, I'm very confident in that.
Well, that's too bad. I certainly don't hate her. And like, you know, 2 weeks ago I was fucking sweating her final table, like rooting for her, like honestly rooting for her. Like, you know, I sweat her in the main event. I was like hoping she. Like,
well, that's good. That's good that you have that in you. I don't have that in me like fully. Like I'm like I say this is fucked up. Like usually like only people that I'm rooting for is people that I have like a financial interest in. Like it's just the way I am, you know? It just is. Yeah. So like I'm not even like judging her. It's just the way she fucking is. You know, we're all different. We all have our strengths and weaknesses. Like I do fucked up shit in certain areas. I'm great in certain areas, you know. Whatever, but it's good that you have that sweetness to you.
It's obviously, she's not hating on Andrew Nemi, she's not hating on Johnny Vibes, like, it's the woman thing, obviously, because Nemi and Johnny are very successful, but she doesn't hate them, she's not upset by them.
Well, yeah, she's not. Yeah.
So, like, it's the woman thing, and you can either choose to look at it, like, I'm not saying I don't have moments of, like, her, where I'm just like, fuck her, like, especially if I'm losing, or I'm in a downswing, or I'm getting crushed, and then I see some woman like crushing or something who I maybe sucks or like isn't that good at poker. I'm like, fuck that bitch. Like, what the fuck? But ultimately, I think that like there's like I don't know, like, there's enough people in poker rooting for women to fail. I don't need to, like, be another one. That's how I feel.
Do you think that, though, the rooting for women to, like, fail? I don't understand that. Like, why? Like the whole, like, some feminist stuff, like, I just don't understand because, like, I would never think, like, negatively about women or not want them to do well. But it's, like, just, like, the same with anyone. Like, I don't get a lot of it. So why do you think that? I'm sure, like, you guys have, like, examples of things that have happened to you that have been hateful or whatever.
Well, it's kind of just like the staking thing is I'm not going to name names, but like there are a handful of girls I know who play super high stakes in Vegas, and it's like a thing where I always hear people talking like, oh, she's just dating her staker, or she was living with the guy who was staking her for years, and he was like a 50-year-old guy, or whatever. Like, it's like, dude, like...
I heard that story.
Huh?
I heard that story. Continue.
I'm saying, like, I'm not going to say names, I'm just saying, like, like... You don't fucking know what you're talking about, first of all. Like, and these are just like why do people have to jump to that? Like, for me, it happens all the time. Like, people like.
Why does it bother you?
Because that. Why are you assuming that that's like what I do? It's absurd. Like, because that implies that it's
stupid
not
people though, man. Like come on. Like I can like you're clearly a sharp person. In some areas, of course, just based on what I'm perceiving.
But like most areas.
What? No, yeah, no. Oh, I wasn't saying it like that at all. But you're clearly a sharp person. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe you're not a fucking. You know, I'm not good at school, but like there's all these different types of intelligence. You clearly are very intelligent on some levels. You know, I don't know all of those levels, but whatever. But so guys that are like hating, it's just bred from their like own insecurities. And anyone that perceiving you as that is just stupid. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that it shouldn't affect you. It clearly does because of whatever. But you want to be, I think what I'm hearing is like you want to be acknowledged as like putting in the work and like fucking really good at poker and fucking whatever. Like this is your deal. Like this is like your life's work, at least for right now. And you don't want to be like that to be downplayed.
Well, I just felt a little bit misunderstood, and it kind of just upset me that like people like Kelly were saying or implying that I'm somehow like stepping on women and encouraging men to treat women to objectify women just to get views. Like,
wait, but why? What is the example? Like, what did you do in your vlog that would suggest that?
Me going around saying I fucked him, like me going to
Rhino. People are so stupid with sex, man. People fuck, man. This is like I don't understand. What?
People think I'm serious. Like, there's like 2 + 2.
They're retarded. They're retarded.
First of all,
this is life. Yeah, I mean, it's just whatever. I know it's frustrating. I know, but people are just.
I will say that like legitimate people, and by legitimate people, I say like people who like are doing shit of their own. 99% of them have been supportive of me. Like, besides like Bonomo, really there is nobody who's actually doing anything in the poker world that's serious has been like hard on me. So that's good. Like,
wait, what, Bonomo was hard on you, you're saying, or no?
Yeah, he like tweeted that he thinks I'm like shaming sex workers by implying that my life is so bad that I have to go be a stripper, or my life is so bad. Like, and I talked about it. I made a video last night.
It's too much, man. It's too much. It's too.
You
made a video what?
I made a video last night on my channel, like talking about this, about the controversy and like me talking back to the haters and stuff. So.
Yeah, I mean, you're just gonna have haters. Like, it just is. It's good, but it's like gonna like character build you. You know what I'm saying? Like, dealing with their disapproval of you is just gonna make you like fucking pillage harder for sure. You know.
I mean, like, what's the alternative? No one watched it and it gets like 80 views. Like, that's the alternative. So I'm happy that people are watching it. So. You know.
Yeah, it's funny, but yeah, you're gonna trigger people. It's just the way it goes. Okay, let's see. All right, what? But you're a winning poker player, right?
Yeah. I hope so.
It's hard to be a winning poker player. That's strong, man. There's a lot of people out there that are not winning. It's hard to beat the rake and all that shit.
Absolutely, and like I've kind of been in this little bubble, like since I moved here, of like this great community of people like that have really like been like helpful and like taught me good habits and taught me good like ways of being. Mm-hmm. And now that I'm kind of like branching out and meeting new people and stuff, I'm realizing there are so many people in this community who don't track sessions, who don't have any idea they're flopping in the wind and they're just kind of like clicking buttons a little bit. And like, just like I feel like I was lucky that from like the beginning I had had good habits, like of just like being disciplined, being organized, you know, like tracking, like recognizing when I'm tilted, like all these kind of things, like and just like putting in the like work ethic of like showing up and putting in hours. Like I don't really play that much these days because I have so much other shit going on, but like I've always played 40 hours a week. I play like, you know, I would just show up even if I was losing. And,
there's a lot of people out there that don't want to work, and I've like known that more and more as I've gotten older and older. That just a ton of people don't have their shit together for whatever reason, where they can't work, they can't succeed. Like that's just the world for the most part. Like people aren't crushing it out there for the most part. Some are.
They don't want to fail. They don't want to fail, and I don't. So it's tough. I mean, but yeah, I mean. I love poker, and I have a long way to go, but I've been winning it's been 2 years, so it's not like I've been around forever. But
speaking of in the poker world, so you're an attractive female in the poker world. I've dated people in the poker world. I know the sort of like DMs that like all these girls are getting. I know the creepy shit that poker guys do. Like, give me some of that. Like, what is it like for you? Because it's just such a different thing than being a guy. Like, give me some of that experience.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like my friends, like Andrew Neeme and a lot of other bloggers, or I don't say public figures, but like people who are like out there, they respond to every single message, every single DM, email. They're very like communicative, and I respond to 0 people at this point because I've gotten to the point where I had a good friend of mine, a girlfriend who plays poker, and she was like, hey, will you respond to my friend? He wrote you a message, and he's a good friend of mine. I vouch for him, whatever. So I respond to this guy and I talked to him 30 minutes, just whatever, for 3 days, incessant messaging, and like hand histories, pictures of his cat, pictures of his fucking face, like pictures of his fucking dinner, like, dude, like hand histories, like strategy, asking me fucking like ridiculous questions, like, dude, I just had to go from like 1-word answers to like ghosting to like, dude, I'm sorry, I gotta block you. Like, I haven't responded to you in a day. Lost 20 messages. You're not taking a hint, and that's kind of the point. And I don't know what it is, but I think, and it's not all men. Obviously, there's some men who are just like like nice, but I think a lot of times it's like men have this thing where they think that if you are in any way reciprocating or responsive, they take it and they run with it. Like they take it and they think that means I'm in love with you, that I want to fuck you, that I'm like yes, like I need you now. Like
I understand that mentality though, because it's from like a place of desperation and like I remember like being in probably like 6th grade and thinking the same thing. I think, oh my god, she talked to me like she, you know, like I totally understand what's going on there, and it's just like not being developed with, or not having a lot going on in your like relating life. So I get it. It's sad. It's sad. It's sad actually.
A lot of these guys are like poker players or streamers or Twitch gamers or whatever, and they just don't probably have a lot of experience with women or like. So I mean, I'm not trying to be mean, but like
no, I know.
They haven't interacted with people in general. Like they don't get the like social cues of like just because someone says hi to you doesn't mean that. And I don't want to be mean, but it's just like I'm at the point now where I can't do that because I'm just like,
yeah, it sucks for you, man. You probably can't even, like, you probably have to watch everything you fucking say with every guy because you know you're gonna say something and you're gonna mistype fucking sec and say sex, and then someone's gonna and then someone's gonna be like, oh, this chick wants to bang. And like, this is what guys think that like don't get laid. They're like, she's a whore. Like this chick, she's just trying to fuck. She's this sex crazed fucking bitch. She just wants to fucking ride my dick. You know what I'm saying? That's the sort of conversations I hear. And it's just like,
insane. It's insane.
Yeah.
It's wild to me. What's wild to me is that they take that part seriously, but then I spoke in the first episode of, I just got out of a 3-year relationship 3 months ago. Like I was locked up for like 3 years. Like, you know, they choose to like not hear that part, but then they like to run with the fact that I'm like joking about whatever. So
yeah, you'll definitely get called like whore and stuff like that. Like that's just what these guys are gonna think, you know. Like it just
like it's just funny. It's so funny.
It's epic. Okay, so wait, so you got out of a relationship 3 years ago. Have you been? Do you do Tinder?
3 months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, 3 months ago. You do Tinder?
No, it's funny because that was a big joke too. Is like I feel like it's different for guys and girls. For me, I've always dated. I've only been in 2 like long-term relationships, but every guy I've ever dated, seriously or not, has been in my industry. You know, when I was in New York, I always dated comedians or filmmakers, and like, you know, I honestly I only date poker players since I've been here, and like it's just kind of like I have this like thing where I need to date someone who's like in my work with me. Like, I feel like guys, poker players, kind of want a girl who's off doing something else. They want to like have that separation at home where they don't want to talk about shit anymore, poke hands and whatever. But I can't date people who don't do or don't have that like. I feel disconnected from them, and maybe it's because poker is so like unique. Like, I'm up at odd hours, I'm doing weird shit. Like, it's a weird concept to like lose a lot of money and like do this shit. But like, I actually joined a dating app, Hinge, for like one day. Maybe a month ago. I talked to one guy on there. He was really awesome, really cute. Like, we chatted for a while, and like, I just like was like, I can't. I know, I just like wasn't feeling it, so I just deleted the app and like never followed through. But yeah, it's tough. I mean,
yeah, it's hard to get. It's hard to have people understand, I guess, sort of, like your lifestyle. And I used to have like a hang up on that and like be insecure about that. But now, like, I've like fully accepted that I'm such like a fucking alien. Like, I'm a very strange person. So like, no matter what, like, I go on these dates with girls on Tinder or something like that, and like, probably half of them are just like terrified. Like, they're just like, what the fuck are you doing? Because I'm like really intense and whatever. So I get it. So for me, it's like a little bit different. But you're like so into poker that you want to like have someone that's like sharing your life in some sort of way.
That's just been my like historically what I've done. But I'm open to the fact like, if someone else is really into what they were doing and they were whatever, I don't know, doctor or something, that's cool. But like, for me, I just feel like I'm in this bubble of the poker community, and I don't want to shit where I eat, kind of. I don't want to like, it's so small.
Dude, I had bad experiences, but it's like it's whatever. Like I dated people in the poker world, and like I can be very jealous, but like I'm like not really insecure, especially when it comes to other people in the poker world, because this is gonna sound douchey. I just don't feel threatened often. You know what I'm saying? I just like whatever. Like, yeah, you're friends with him. Like, I see, like, oh, this guy's in the friend zone. Like, I don't care. It's fucking whatever. But like when it ends, it can be messy. Like, it can be fucking messy. I'm like intent. Like, it's like I'm jealous. Like, if someone is fucking my ex, like in the poker world, I want to kill them. You know? I don't know. That's just how I am. It's just inbred in me. I want to kill. So like, it's. And it sounds fucking weird, but it's bad. It's bad.
For me, like my ex is the nicest person on the planet. We're still friends. He actually moved to Reno, which is kind of good to have that little bit of separation. We left on the most amicable terms possible. There was no like betrayal or anything, and all his friends. It's crazy. All his friends still love me. They're all super warm and supportive. I see his friends all the time. They all play poker and stuff, but. Like, still, it's a little awkward, and, yeah, it's tough, and for me, it's like, I like being friendly with exes, but I don't want to be friends. Like, I don't want to see you. I don't want to, know about your new girlfriend. Like, I'm happy for you. I don't want you anymore, but I don't want to be reminded of that. Like, you're not in my life. Bye. I never want to see you again. Goodbye. And in poker, it's like, not like that. Like, I have to be reminded of that, like, all the time, so...
Are you the same way, though? Like, would that make you, like, jealous on some level? Like, you hearing that your ex is with someone or, like, whatever? That's, like...
It would just be, like, I don't want to know. Like, I don't want to be with him anymore, and he doesn't want to be with me anymore. But I think it's mutually just, like, I don't want to see it. I don't want it to be in my face. You know what I mean? So,
yeah. No, it's awful. I know. I just want to delete the whole thing.
Some people are, like, kumbaya. Like, it's so crazy. People have, like, their exes at their wedding, and they have their exes over for dinner, and they're, like... They have these, like, close relationships with their exes once they've broken up, and I, like, maybe they're, like, a bigger person than me, or they're more involved, but I just can't do that shit. Like,
yeah, I don't think that there was, like, a lot of passion in the relationship, probably, or they're just, like, not generally passionate people. You know what I'm saying? Like, because, like,
yeah. Maybe they just were buds when they were dating, so now they're just buds.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's the only thing that makes sense.
I can't do that.
But, like, you're probably getting, like, DM'd by guys all the time, right? Like...
Yeah, but it's just, like, also for me, every time I've ever dated someone, it's always happened super organically. I hate that word, but like, you know, it's always through mutual. I can't really like go. I don't like go on dates or that have that forced interaction of like, I like you, want to go on a date with me, or like I've never been able to do that. I don't do that. It's always like I just like become your friend. I get to know you, and then like it just like happens. Like
yeah.
Otherwise, it just feels maybe I'm socially awkward. I'm weird. I don't want to like.
What is the pressure? Because I'm the total opposite. Like I remember, like my ex actually, like, and girls do this often. Like I'll talk to them and I'll be like, okay, let's go out, and they'll be like, well, I'm gonna bring my friend, and I'm like, no, this is a date. Like this is a date. Like we're like interacting with you. I don't want to talk to your friend. Like this is like one-on-one time because I just like don't. But I get it. So like, what is like the pressure for you? Like it being awkward. Like what's going on there?
Yeah, like there's like this pressure of like this. It's almost like it almost feels like an interview to me. It's almost like, okay, well, like we're putting our best foot forward here, and we're seeing if this is gonna work, and like this is the test, and like oh my god, like and then we're gonna have to meet, or have to have sex, and like oh my god, like whereas if you're just like hanging out with your friends, there's no like implications there. There's no like end game there. It's just like yo, we're chilling, and then like, you know, 6 months or a year later, it's like, oh my god, like I just feel like I don't know.
So maybe I'm like projecting here, but like what percentage of like your guy friends do you think are like trying to bang you? Like it's got to be like a high percentage, right? Like because I know me personally, like I mean I have a few girlfriends, but generally speaking, I don't do the friend zone thing either. Like I can't do that because it feels too like weird to me. It's not often when other guys do it, but for me, it just feels like disingenuous because like often I'm like not trying to be that person's friend. I'm trying to like have sex or something or whatever, you know? Like does that make sense? Like I'm just being honest. So what do you think? What do you like? What percentage of guys? 100?
You know, like I said, my dad and I are actually very close. We have this talk all the time. Actually, we're weirdly close.
That's awesome. That's great.
My dad's like theory is I'll be like, Dad, I have a new guy friend, or like my best friend Pat, or my best friend whoever maybe. I have a lot of close guy friends. My dad's like, yeah, he wants to sleep with you. Like he just thinks this is his way. Like my dad's like theory is like they're all just like waiting for their moment. And he just like tells me this all the time. He's like, he's not your friend. She's not your friend. Like, and he's just a pessimist, and he's kind of just like a guy. And like I get that he's just trying to warn me, or not warn me, but just like he's coming from his own perspective of like they're all just like waiting to see if it'll happen.
Well, do you think that's true or not?
I don't. I think that for a lot of them, if I were to like push the issue, they're not gonna like be like no. But I don't think that they're actively like interested in me, because at the end of the day, not everyone's attracted to everybody, and not everyone's into everybody. And it's just I don't know, like. Yeah,
I mean, I would think probably more are than you think, but it's hard to say. I mean, like some guys, you know, maybe are just not, but yeah, like so what? But I've often been told that like once like you like enter the friend zone as a guy, it's kind of hard to like get out of it. So like, what is your give your advice to like guys? Because I can't obviously articulate it as well as someone from your perspective, female.
It's funny because all of my exes started off as friends.
So that's the way. The way with you is being in the friend zone. That's it.
Yeah, but having said that, okay, there's like this level of closeness with like friends where like you're like farting in front of each other, and you're just like when you're like really close. I have some close guy friends I've had for years who I'm just like you're just like the most raw and like, you know, gross, like, you know what I mean, from the get-go.
Yeah,
and I feel like once you pass that threshold with somebody, you can't come back. Like I never have. Like my like exes have been friends with me, but they were more like friends in terms of like superficial, not superficial, but like not like past a certain point or something.
Wait, so I don't understand. So you're saying once someone farts in front of you, then there's no coming back from that to where you're like, okay, well, I can't find them attractive and they can't find me attractive. That's what you're saying?
Not specifically, but like, yeah, I don't know. It's weird, like.
But like you're saying, once you're totally raw with someone, then that's it. Like you guys are done.
I don't want to like say it's black and white like that, but I'm just thinking about like my history and like whatever. It's just kind of like, I don't know. I also feel like I have this like thing with people or like with guys in poker where I have like a lot of anxiety when I meet a new guy friend or I'm hanging out with like a new dude in poker or talking to him because I feel like there's like this like tension like where he's wondering if I'm flirting with him or he's wondering if this means something and that just makes me like no like
yeah.
So
yeah, it's probably so awkward. I know. I know what you're saying.
I don't know how to explain it, but I need to feel like comfortable, like that you're not creeping on me, so that I'm and when I feel like you're not interested, that's when I'll be interested. If that makes any sense.
But why? That's interesting because you seem like kind of like a unique person. Because I feel like usually girls like when you're like just like direct and like aggressive and like straight line. You know what I'm saying? That's like been my experience of it. But you're not like that, huh?
No, actually, like I don't know. I when I feel like creeped on, when I feel like I'm being pushed at, it really just turns me off. It makes me feel like you're going like no, like I can't. But when I feel like someone's genuinely my friend and like has no expectations and is just like doing their thing and like just like not pushy, then I'm like more open to it. I guess I don't know.
That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense for sure.
So it's the pushiness that like makes me like so.
Next question.
Okay.
What are your biggest insecurities? Let me give you mine because it's this weird thing to just be like, I'm going to fucking tell you all my insecurities. I have a massive, but my deepest, so I do hypnotherapy. And like what it is basically like, you're just going back in your childhood or any time in your previous life and just ripping all of the like traumatizing events that happened to you out so you can just like be a stronger person. Does that make sense? So for me, my biggest one is relating to girls, women. I always say girls, but whatever. That's just what I say. Like as a kid, I got like zero interest from girls, like whatsoever. And like in high school, I was like the literal most awkward human on the face of the planet, and like terrified of girls, right? And then like this like pretty much lasted till I was like 25, right? And then so like I still have this like chip on my shoulder to be like I can get that girl. You know what I'm saying? It's this stupid douchey thing that like I still need to like prove to myself like I can get validation from chicks. You know what I'm saying? And the way it results in my life, it's terrible. It's really bad. Like I'll end up going on all these like Tinder dates with chicks that I'm like not even interested in just to like win. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yes, like it's so like at the end of the day, it's so non-serving and it's dust. So I'm trying to get all that out. But I know that's like my biggest one. And it's like it's like deep. It's very deep for me. But give me yours.
Mine definitely, over the years, I have this like deep, I'll say two things. I feel like a common thing with women in poker is the need to prove themselves. And that's why they tend to be like super aggressive. Like, you're not going to bully me. Like you can just sense it when they're walking up to the table and they have this like air about them. They're just like, you're not going to like, and they just push and they're very like overly aggro and like they have something to prove.
Yeah.
And like, I was so like that in the beginning and like, but it's obviously mellowed out now, but I have this like deep insecure that like, I want to be seen as smart. And
that's what it is. That makes sense with you. Yeah. That makes perfect sense. Okay.
It's a trigger for me. Like in all the comments, what really triggers me is when people say like, even though it's kind of like a compliment, but they'll say like, she isn't, so what if she's not good at poker? At least she's making content. Or like, it's good to see people who aren't good at poker still out there trying. Or like, it's just like and here's the thing too, is like, from the beginning, people have been telling me no hand histories, no strategy, just do the comedy. The comedy is what works. And I like the comedy. I love doing those skits. I like that. And people have never wanted to hear, people don't want me to be a duck poke. They don't want me to be an authority and get out there and talk about serious hands and serious, even serious news topics. Like no one wants to hear that shit from me for just from like so far. And for me in the vlog, I've always had this like deep thing where I'm like, but I'm smart, like, but I'm good, like, but I know I can talk about poker, like I can talk about hands, like,
yeah.
But like, and all the hand histories this far have always come from that place of like, let me remind you that I'm also smart. But let me remind you
So
that
do they come across as like overly like analytical or something like that because of that? Like, do they come across like, why is this chick showing me this hand that's like the most intense thing of all time? And it's like the first hand we're talking about, right?
At the end of the day, like, people for some reason have been like, I know that's where it's coming from. The reason why I even talk serious strategy at all, because no one's asking me for hands. Like, people don't want to see hands from me. People have actually told me they want less serious poker. And I always have this thing where I'm making a video where I'm like, I don't want people to think that I'm just some like idiot wreck who's been playing poker 2 months and like doesn't track and doesn't win and doesn't know what fucking ass from her elbow. Like, and so I feel the need to like for a minute every video like get on there and like, you know, like toot my own horn for myself just so I'm like, you know, but it's stupid.
Right. Okay,
like,
so where do you think all this comes from? I get it. I totally understand. Where do you think it comes from?
I don't know. Like, I guess like I don't want to like sound whatever, but I think that a lot of women from a young age have like their insecurities, their looks, and like wanting to prove to everybody that they're hot. And
you seem
like,
zero self-conscious about like looks, like based on your videos. Like you're like fucking like making weird faces and shit like that, and you don't care, which is.
No, yeah. I mean, I do care, and there are things about my looks that when I'm triggered about them, it really does trigger me. But I guess like when I was modeling and I just like been in front of the camera a lot, and like that's kind of like been validated for me to a certain point. Whereas like I really haven't had that much like intellectual success. I don't have that much money. I'm not financially secure. Like I'm not really. Like, no one's ever given me any validation that I'm smart. And, like, for me, it's, like, that's the, like, baby inside of me that's, like, it's, like, the question, am I smart? Like, am I, like, and so I don't. And
that's
so that's
your big one.
For me, so, yeah.
Yeah, that's your big one. It's interesting that you say it. And it's interesting that the insecurities that we have generally are things that we actually excel at. You know what I'm saying? It's funny that your friend Josh, my friend Josh, our mutual friend, it's, like, one of the first things I said to him. I was like, this girl's very sharp because, like, I think in order to do the sort of content that you have, you need to be sharp. So I think you're smart, but yeah, but that's like your big one, huh? That's like gonna be the thing that's like gonna be tough for you to overcome, basically.
Definitely, yeah.
Next question. What do you think the biggest thing in your childhood that shaped you, like in your future, good or bad? It's weird. I don't even know if I could answer that question because I don't know that I would have one. So, answer it how you want.
You know, I would just say like, kind of in a general sense, I was raised by a single dad and I was an only child, so I had a very weird upbringing in that sense. I had no maternal figure, effectively ever, and I just my dad is like the nuts and like very strong, successful male, figure in my life, and like so. I think that's maybe a big reason why I was pulled to poker, and I kind of am. I kind of like lack a lot of the. I want to say like maternal like qualities that usually mothers instill in you. Like I'm not clean. I can't cook. I don't take care of myself really. I don't have any like sort of like those kind of things. Like when I'm sick, I'm just like fuck it. I'll take some like aspirin. I'll be fine. Like. Because that's how I was treated when I was being brought up, and but like I think that was like a really big thing for me. I think it was good and bad. It was good in the sense that like I was a daddy's girl and I could do whatever I wanted, and I think that's kind of like where I get a little bit of that rebelliousness of like fuck it, like I don't care.
Yeah,
because I always been empowered to do whatever. My dad supports me playing poker. He supports me no matter what I do. Like I'm vulgar. I make sex jokes, and my dad watches these. And he, of course, like he doesn't want to necessarily think about that, but he's beyond supportive. He's my number one fan. So a lot of parents, like when you're doing poker, you're doing like comedy, you're doing racy videos, like they're gonna be like, "Dude, what are you doing?" And like I'm just so lucky that like I have that. So
yeah, that's dope. That makes sense to me. I can see how you have that in you where you don't care about that bullshit. That's really good. So where do you want this all to go? Like, what is your goal here with all this? Because I think you're gonna get really fucking popular. But like, what do you want to come of it?
It's so funny because it's happening so fast. It's been 2 months. Like 2 months ago, I was like just grinding out in 2.5, like
Yeah.
slogging it out. But and I feel like I'm a little overwhelmed with that question because I have been getting a lot of people reaching out to me, some more legitimate than others. But like, there's so many like avenues that I could take it. But at this point, what I would say is that I would love to be able to plan all the events only the events that I really want to plan, like the tournaments that I think are the best, the streams, the cash games that are the best, and have that opportunity, and then bring women to poker, and also branch out into like a more broad comedy like just personal YouTube channel that's bigger than poker, because I think poker has like a pretty low ceiling as far as like
it's dust. I know. For me, because I really like doing my show. I think I do a good show. I think I ask good questions and stuff like that. But I kept getting turned off because I felt like I kept falling into the like kind of nonsense drama about stuff in poker that I honestly just don't care about. And it's actually, this is like probably an ego thing. It's like cringy for me to even associate myself with it. Like, let's talk about like Nick Palma scamming people. Like, I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about people's lives, but like this is for you too. Like, this is the platform that you have right now. You have the poker platform, so you're kind of forced to do it. But I know what you're saying. You don't want it to define you. You don't want to. I get it for sure.
Yeah, well, and that, and also I just feel like it's a small community. Like, you're not gonna have a million. You're not gonna have a million subs.
Yeah.
Poker, never gonna happen. Never. Not even quarter million. I mean, Doug Polk's by far the biggest, and he's what, 200,000. Like, and he's not even. He's like huge. So.
Yeah. No. The ceiling is low. The ceiling is low in poker for lots of things. Yeah, 100%. All right. Do you want to plug anything? Do you want to tell people where to find your vlog or anything that you got going on?
Yeah, so my name is Marle Poker, I guess, is my blog. Marle's Barkley1 on Instagram. I just joined Twitter like 2 days ago. Welcome to the real world, Marle. Yeah, I post weekly, and I'm very active on Instagram, and I'm playing in some cool live streams coming up, but the best way to get all that stuff in a nutshell is follow me on Instagram and YouTube. So...
Sweet.
Oh, I'm also playing a charity tournament this weekend. I don't know when this is coming out. When will this be?
Probably tomorrow.
Okay. So I'm playing in a charity tournament tomorrow in LA, or on Sunday in LA.
Okay.
Sunday at noon at the Riveter. It's like a charity, like benefiting UCLA Children's Hospital and a bunch of other small charities, and I'm stoked about it. So.
What's it for?
It's just a charity event. It's in honor of a girl who passed away from cancer a few years ago. This is benefiting the Children's Hospital and Wags for Walks. It's like an animal shelter, and I don't know. It's just gonna be like a good cause. Like 100% of the money is going to charity. So
sweet. Sweet. Do you have anything else you want to talk about? Any parting thoughts? Any messages that you want to tell your haters?
Oh, God, no. I think I cleared everything up. If you want to hear my message to my haters, you can go to my channel. I give a succinct, explanation and, thing, and I'm, closing the door on that. I'm not going to dwell on it. I, say what I need to say, and now moving on.
Yeah, just do it. Just do it. Fuck them. All right. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for being on the show. You're the shit. You're hilarious. And good luck with everything you got going on. I hope you get fucking huge. I do.
Thank you.
All right. Peace.
It's fun.